Most people don't know what their first goal should be. Head on over now to couchtoactive.com/minimum and find out for yourself how to get a successful start. Well, good morning. Oh my gosh, it's good to see you guys. I know I can't actually see you, but I like to pretend you're right here with me on the blue velvet couch, thinking about exercise and all kinds of exercise, fitness, motivation for the rest of us, because you know, 80% of us are not getting in the minimum exercise required or recommended. Recommended minimum exercise of 150 minutes a week and 2 times of weight-bearing exercise. We are not getting it done in part because we don't have lifestyles that support it. And so one of the things that we look at all the time is how can we optimize? How can we do more in less time and make the most out of every day? And I'm sort of a yes and no fan of that, because I spent so many years trying to max out every single minute of every single day, live like you're going to die tomorrow. Like anybody I know who lives like they're dying tomorrow, they're not out training for marathons. They are, it's all about love and family and connections. But with that said, we know we want to be healthy so that we can live to our fullest. And we know that has to include exercise. So one of the questions we ask all the time is, are little bits of exercise here and there worth it? Do they actually help our body? The reason I hear this question come up over and over again in my generation of folks, middle age and above, is because we were given a bad bill, some fitness industry brainwashing that everybody who was in the fitness industry in the 80s or 70s or even 90s will say, oops, our bad, we got that wrong. And that is that concept that you have to exercise for at least 15 or 20 minutes for it to be worth anything. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen and it's just not going to be worth it. So you might as well not exercise if you can't get anything in. We are finding that not only is that BS, but it's held back so many people from even trying. It's tightened up that box of what we think exercise is, and it's pushed so many people out to not see themselves as somebody who is a exerciser. In fact, even just the fact that we say, I'm an exerciser, or I am going to work out, versus I am just living my life, and it includes movement and activity for health and longevity. Even the fact that we've, got those confused is really kind of messed us up. So I want to give you a couple of data points that will hopefully inspire you to do a little bit more moving throughout your day and all your days. So first of all, let's start with this, because I thought it was funny. I was looking up research and data and articles on, the Journal of Obesity and National Institute of Health and CDC pages, and just finding out what, I want to make sure that whatever I say has data to back it up without boring you with the data. But I found an article that had the funniest sentence about humans and exercise in our life. And I don't know why. It's just I'll just read it to you. It made me laugh, even though it's a totally serious sentence. Here we go. We'll see if you think it's funny too. Homo sapiens are evolutionarily adapted to be very physically active throughout life. I know it's true. Our body needs exercise. My body will always need exercise. Will never change. It's not negotiable. It's science. We know this. I know, but it just made me laugh. So let me tell you, folks, there is more and more data coming out and research showing that active lifestyle really is the thing for health and longevity and moving throughout the day. In fact, there's some scary data coming out saying that if you sit on your rear end and have a desk job all day long, and then you work out for your 45 minutes every single day, and maybe even work out more on the weekends, that it actually doesn't make up for the fact that you're sedentary all day long. So we're finding more and more that when it comes to exercise, every single bit counts. When it comes to regulating our blood sugar levels and keeping those under control, not only does we're finding more and more, which is, you look back and say, well, oh, duh, but we're finding that when it comes to regulating blood sugar levels, not only does every bit count, but it's actually better to have, when it comes to blood sugar levels, to have little bouts of exercise throughout the day, as opposed to one big, hour-long exercise at the end of a day or the beginning of a day. And so here's a couple of tips to help get you moving and motivated. One idea is maybe you think about 3 meals a day, 3 short little exercise bouts, right? So, a meal and then 10-minute walk, another meal, another 10-minute walk, another meal, maybe some, little bit of weight bearing stuff every single day. That could be a place to start, but it really is about moving. So here's a couple things that I do. And I started making a list of things that I do to integrate movement throughout my day. And I realized, holy moly, I do more than I realize. So one of the things I do, and a lot of you have heard this, if you've listened to all these podcasts, these are all going to sound familiar. We have a room in our house that has a baby gate on it to keep the puppy out. And I step over that baby gate multiple times a day. And so that's actually helping my hip flexors. In the bathroom, I will, every time I use the ladies' room, I like to call it, I will flex a few muscles really tight. And that's been amazing. I do what I call my sink squats or blender squats. So I deliberately have my blender in a low cupboard in my kitchen. And I'm thinking healthy usually when I pull out my blender, unless it's margarita night. And so I squat down, grab that blender, and do a squat back up. Let's see. I also do longer steps. So sometimes I'm outside and I think, okay, Lynn, take your stride, make it a little longer. I have one I call the lamp reach, and the lamp by my desk. I have to reach pretty far to turn it on and off. And my ability to balance and reach has gotten better because I do just that little thing every day. And then for balancing, I put my socks and shoes on, standing up, balancing. So I don't sit down. I stand it and kind of wobble and balance. And for getting more strength in my legs, when I'm feeling it, I do what I call slow stair skips. And it's really that simple. Skip a step up the stairs, and just do it kind of slowly to force those muscles to work. So those are things that I'm actually doing in my life every day. Here's what I want you to do. Think about all kinds of little things that you can do and remind yourself, the research, the data shows that it all counts, every single bit of it. Alrighty, friends, we are going to look the rest of this week at a few other things. One, we're going to work you through some inertia, and we're going to talk about simply not being able to keep up with others. And we're going to talk about redefining what happy exercise is for you. So we got some fun stuff coming up. Think about today, though. Think about your little things to remind yourself that every single bit counts. Alrighty, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Couch to Active's #1 goal is to help you fill the gap between knowing you should exercise consistently and actually getting it done with a smile. Head on over to couch2active.com. Get the course, get the book, get going today at couch2active.com.